Hey guys, what's up? So this video I'm just going to do a kind of a quick overview of what my plans are for my land, or what I would like to do. I know it's going to take quite a long time to do everything that I want to do, and it's going to take quite a bit of money. So to get started though, I just wanted to do like a basic layout of what the land will be. And so I did some sketches, so I'm going to show those real quick and just kind of talk through what I'm going to do, and then the stages, I guess, of what I'm going to do. The first of which will most likely be building the shop. It's going to be a large shop, which I'll show. I did like a sketch of that as well. But it's going to most likely be the first step, and that way I have somewhere to work, have a roof over my head, or hopefully it won't take too long to build, but that way I kind of have something established on the land that'll be there that I could actually live in while I'm working on building the house, doing the other stuff that I want to do. So I'm going to switch the camera here to point at this pad so that I can get kind of a better view of it, and then I'll explain everything. Cool? Alright, so here's the pad with my plan that I did. So real quick, this is basically just a large overview of the whole entire parcel. So my land, this here is the road that leads to my land basically. My land along the road front is about 1,220 feet. So these squares on here, the large squares represent 100 feet, small squares are 25 feet. So my land is roughly 1,220 feet long and then 725 feet deep. So the basic layout of what I'm looking for the land is I'm going to cut a road in here that's going to go back about 550, 600 feet, and then that's going to be where the main house is going to be. This is not necessarily the exact orientation of the house. I just kind of did the layout just to show what the basic layout is going to be. So it'll be a long driveway, kind of curve in so that it's not just a straight shot. Go back, have a turnaround loop, basically have the house, have kind of a covered area where we can pull up. You know, this side will be the garage. The turn here is going to go to where the shop is, and again, this may not be the exact orientation of the shop. The shop will end up being where the solar panels and everything are going to go on the roof of the shop, so the shop will be situated whatever the degrees are for it to get optimal sunlight throughout the day. These three just represent water catchment tanks. I don't know if I'll have three or if I'll have one or what the exact setup is, but they will also come. The main rain water catchment is going to be off the roof of the shop, so the water catchment tanks will be next to it. Here is a lake, possibly. I don't know if it's going to be possible to put a lake in or not, but it would be nice to have a water reservoir, because there are times where they don't get, in the area where I am, it rains a lot, like 150 inches a year, but it does have times where it doesn't get a lot of rain for certain months out of the year. So it'd be nice to have a reservoir for animals and agriculture. This area back here is going to be a greenhouse and a garden area. And then these larger rectangles here represent where the coffee orchard is going to be. So each one of these dotted rectangles represents basically 1 acre. So my plan, I guess, was to do 5 acres initially. As I said on my last video, I'm going to start with 1 acre, which will be this one here. The next year I'm going to do another acre, the next year another acre, and then I'll continue up to 5 acres, but I don't know for sure if I'll do 5 acres, because once all 5 are put in, at any given time, only 3 to 4 acres will actually be producing. So when you prune back the coffee trees, which is about every 5 years or so, they basically don't produce for another year to 2 years. So if I get all 5 of these in, let's say by the time the 5th one goes in, the first one is going to need to be pruned. So then that one's not going to produce for a year or 2. And then the next year, this one will get pruned. So it's not going to produce for a year or 2. So by the 3rd year, the first one will start producing again. This one will get pruned. I'll have these 2 producing. So at any given time, like I said, it'll probably be an average of about 3 acres producing. 3, possibly 4, just depends on the growth rate. This area over here, I set aside, this is going to be for livestock. There will probably be a barn or maybe a couple small structures in this area. A chicken coop definitely. I'm not sure livestock wise if we're going to end up having cows or pigs, or I'm pretty sure I'm going to have sheep, just because they'll help maintain the coffee orchard as far as eating grass and everything. And then there's going to be a main road that's going to go down, cut all the way through the land over to here. Now this part here is still going to be really kind of up in the air. This is where I want to do my cabins for Airbnb. So basically what this is this is going to end up being like a clubhouse area, and also where we'll serve breakfast. So it'll be an actual, kind of like a real B&B, but it'll be Airbnb, I guess. So this is, I guess, sort of a parking lot area. This will be a clubhouse. And then each one of these represents a cabin. And this is basically 25 by 25, which I don't know anything as far as what the cabins are going to be yet. That's going to be a ways down the road. I have an idea of like what I would like to do as far as making each one of them unique and all that. And then there's going to be a road that's going to come in here for Airbnb guests. Now my plan, like I had said in the other video, is on the back side of the land here is another community, which is Fern Acres. So along this back side there is 10 spaghetti lots, which I'm going to see if I could buy one of these lots. They're basically a 2-acre lot, so they're I think like 100 to 200 feet by like 700 feet, something like that. So if I can end up getting one of these lots, which I'm not getting, my realtor is not getting much reception. She sent out letters and whatnot to the owners. So we'll see, but it could take a year or more, who knows. If I do end up getting one of these lots, then the road for the Airbnb will end up being cut from this direction. That way, the road on this side is paved. On this side of, coming into Fern Acres is paved. There's electricity there, there's internet there. We'll probably end up putting, a building on there that'll end up being like a studio / office. And then wherever it ends up being, there will be a road that will cut through there, and then it'll come, on the back side of the coffee orchard, maybe over to here or something like that. Or maybe I'll bring it, if we get the first one, I'll bring it in from this side and just go this way. We'll see. I don't know. Again, that's all kind of up in the air. So the first thing that I was saying is going to be the shop will most likely be the first thing put in. So what I'm going to be focusing on initially is cutting this road in a little ways back, clearing, all of this area here as much as I need to, and then prepping this area for the shop. So the shop, which this is just a real rough layout, basically what the shop is going to be is I'm going to use 8 shipping containers, 8 40-foot high cubes. So they're going to be stacked 2 in a row and then 2 high. The interior space is going to end up being 40 feet by 80 feet is going to be my shop space, and then the rear is going to be 2 floors. So this would be an aerial, view of what the shop will look like. This is going to be sort of a front view. So you'll have the 2 shipping containers on either side, and then 4 I guess on either side. So 2 high, 2 deep. And then the roof is going to be not a traditional, even roof. I'm going to actually split it from this side because I want to have all of this real estate for solar and water catchment. Then the water catchment tanks will be on the side over here, one side or the other, I'm not sure. I'll have like a 14-foot roll-up door, an entry door, a couple windows, blah, blah, blah. This is a kind of a perspective shot, which I know the perspective's way off. I messed that up. But that's kind of what it's going to look like. So I'll have one large roof basically for water catchment and solar, and then the front of the shop. So that's going to be my main focus, I guess. What I'm looking into now is getting financing. There's a Hawaii Farm Credit Services, and basically they give you kind of like a construction loan. It's if you're doing anything related to agriculture or livestock, you can get loans through them. It's a private organization. It's not government. And basically they help out, farmers and farms and people doing that kind of business and work, I guess it is. So that's it. That's the master plan, I guess, of what's going to happen. Everything here, by the way, that's in green is supposed to represent the trees. I want to try to leave that much, so only the areas that are clear or have buildings, roads, are what I'm going to clear. I want to keep, as much of the original trees and rainforest as I can, surrounding the area, for privacy along this road, and then over here as well for the cabins, just to be like a cooler sort of off-grid, cabin experience. But that's basically it. So I know this is probably a fairly quick video, but I just wanted to show kind of what my plans were for this coming up. So I'll do a more detailed video on this coming up soon. Like I said, please be patient. This is all taking much longer than I anticipated. A lot of it has to do with money. Everything costs money. The shop is probably going to end up costing anywhere from $60,000 to $80,000. The house is going to be, at least $100,000, probably more, just to clear, acres. Each acre to clear is anywhere from, 2,000 to 3,000 up to, 8,000 or 9,000 if you actually want to rip it, which means breaking up the lava and making it flat. So if I want to clear, 8 acres, I'm looking at $40,000 there just for clearing. And then you got the cost of the coffee, buying the seedlings, getting that prepared. So it's going to end up being a lot. Alright guys, the camera actually cut out on that last part, but anyway, I was wrapping up. So like I was saying, if you're planning on doing this, you need to definitely make sure you have your finances in order. If you could come here with, that set up already, that would make a huge difference. Finding work here is difficult. Finding good paying jobs is difficult. It's definitely not like the mainland, especially not where I came from, California. It's the jobs here, there's not really many tech jobs at all, which I was in kind of, tech or technical industries prior to coming here. So, but I do have a new job coming up. I'll make another video about that. Anyway, so I'm going to wrap this up. I just want to say thank you guys for watching, and again, please be patient with my progress. I'm working on this and trying to get everything going, as quickly as I can. I know people are waiting for videos to come out, but I'm working on it. So thanks again for tuning in. Please like and subscribe if you have not already, and I will see you on the next video. Thank you.